Welcome to another episode, everyone. This is essentially part two, if you will, of Keffe D snitch on every damn body. When we left off in part one, if you will, Keffe D had been exposed by the FBI on the stand for snitching on 5 or 6 individuals when we left off. In 1998, the feds came with the proffer for Keffe D. They were investigating the FBI gang and drug activity in Compton and Watts, California. They wanted to sit down with Keffe D, though he was a suspect for the murder of Tupac Shakur. They were not there for that. They were there to glean information about dealings, illicit dealings in Compton and Watts. And Keffe D, from the OG Compton Crip from Southside Compton, Crip, sat down with them and exposed Suge Knight, Mob James, some individual named Zip from New York, some individual named Fats, some individual named Wayne Day, Reggie Wright Jr., all for being involved in the drug trade. This is in 1998 when he had already sat down with the feds and exposed all of these individuals, snitched on multiple individuals. So let's pick it up. Let's continue. When we left off, he was just telling on Suge Knight, but we'll basically pick it up from right there.
And he also explains marrying Suge Knight's role and his connection to the Blood gang members.
Yes, he did. He said that Marion Knight had gained control of the North Compton drug trade and that he was associated with a bunch of the Blood Street gang members.
Marion Knight had control of the North Compton drug trade. It's what Keffe D told the feds in 1998. The federal agent that is testifying right now is not testifying to secondhand information. He is the one that conducted the interview with Keffe D and is recalling lucidly what was said during the interview. And he has it all documented as well, of course. And according to him, Keffe D told him in 1998, 28 years ago, that Suge Knight was in control of the North Compton drug trade.
Like the Mob Pyrus and such. And they were, the Knight was getting them in and out of, getting them out of jail, bailing them out, and they would cooperate with Knight.
And basically when Knight goes to prison, he tells you Reggie Wright kind of takes over.
Yeah, Reggie Wright Jr. took over the organization after Suge Knight was arrested.
You already mentioned Harry O. But Davis claims to actually be involved in the delivery of some of the money associated with the startup of Death Row Records.
Yes.
Down. I'm going to start. You see at the top there. You ask him about his prior relationship with Mr. Knight prior to the murder of Tupac Shakur. You see that paragraph there?
Yeah.
Damn. Down at the bottom it says Davis, that's Keffe D, also advised that the word on the street is that Compton Police Department officers commit murders for Knight. Compton police officers commit murders for Suge Knight. Damn. Now let that sink in. Compton police officers, the police. Let's not just bypass that one. The police, Keffe D alleges, are committing murders for Suge Knight, for a drug dealer, for a gangbanger. Someone that Keffe D said controls a whole portion of a city with the drug trade. That's what he said. And that the police are committing murders for him. Really? Davis also knows that the mayor of Compton, Omar Bradley, associated with Knight and the Blood gang members. Davis knows that the mayor has attended parties with them. So Keffe D is telling them he's snitching on the mayor too. Everybody going down. Everybody's cooked. Messing with Keffe. Everybody gotta go. This is 1998. He's been a snitch. He said the mayor, Omar Bradley, is associated with Suge Knight and the Blood gang members. The mayor is a Blood. Boy, we ain't got a chance. We cook. Community cook. The mayor is a Blood. The police, the same ones who will cuff you up for stealing a Snickers candy bar and put you in jail for the rest of your life if it's your third strike, or catch you with a bag of marijuana and give you 15 years in prison, particularly at this time, are the same police who are out committing murders for money. They'll lock you, so they're committing crimes, the ultimate crime. They're taking someone's life. They're committing murders. He used the word murder. They're committing murder. They out here killing people. But if you rob someone, if you beat someone, hell, if you get caught speeding, you can go to jail. But it's okay for them to kill people. This is nasty work, man.
Yeah, I mean, Davis said that he told us that he never had any issues with Suge Knight or any of those individuals prior to the incident in Vegas with the killing of Mr. Shakur.
And Mr. Davis goes on, and I'm going to skip down just a little bit, but he basically accuses two Compton police department officers, Sergeant Reynolds and Lieutenant Reggie Wright Sr., the father of Reggie Wright Jr., as basically being corrupt officers.
Yes, yeah, that Reggie Wright Sr. was a lieutenant with the Compton Police Department, and then Reggie Wright Jr. was a former officer with the police department. He had then started a company called Rightway Security, and that he was working with Suge Knight, doing security, although some claimed it wasn't on an official capacity, for death row records, looking at the parties and such and things like that. And they would, Rightway Security, they would employ Compton PD officers and things of that nature to conduct their business for Mr. Knight.
And he also mentions Omar Bradley. Who's Omar Bradley?
Omar Bradley is former mayor of Compton, the city of Compton. He mentions Mr. Bradley saying that he was associated with Knight and the other Blood pirate gang members.
Skip through the part. Top of page 4, he provides information, or at least asserts that Reggie Wright Jr. is distributing drugs out of a particular location, and even names some people that are helping with that.
Yes, he stated that Reggie Wright Jr. Had a drug distribution location, an auto body shop called Untouchables, that was located at the corner.
Damn. Reggie Wright Jr. had a drug distribution organization, and they, the headquarters was at an auto body shop called the Untouchables. I mean, he gave him all the information on Reggie Wright Jr. He just snitched on like 9 people or something so far.
Wandra in Washington in the city of Compton. There was the shop was owned by an individual by the name of Melvin Hurd, and then Hurd, a guy by the name of G. Ray and Jim helped distribute cocaine from the shop.
Damn.
He also
Hurd and G. Ray too, huh? Who was Hurd and G. Ray? Okay, we up to about 11 people or something he done snitched on. Man, damn. Keffe? What's up, bro? Just yesterday, he was looking like a cool killer up in the courtroom. He was mean mugging someone and called somebody a snitch as they was walking out. Somebody who had got on the stand. One of them dudes got on the stand. No, dog. Now we find out the truth. You were just projecting. You were the snitch and have been one since at least 1998 with the feds.
Mentions some people that work for Reggie Wright Jr. and assisting in the cocaine distribution.
Yes, he stated that Reggie Wright Jr. had an individual by the name of Mob James, who was a member of the Mob Piru street gang, individual named Flip, who distributed out of a shop location on Compton Boulevard.
Damn. Individuals who work for Reggie Wright Jr. assisting in the distribution of cocaine include Mob James, a member of the Mob Piru street gang who is approximately 30 years old. Remember, again, this is 1998. Number 2, Flip, who distributes from a shop located on Compton Boulevard. And Harris Bumptree, a member of Mob Piru street gang. Trayvon Lane, a member of the Mob Piru street gang. And 5, Kevin Woods. He done snitched on 5 more people right there. It says Bump Tree, but I'm assuming they mean Buntree. Bump Tree. Number 3 is Bump Tree. No, I'm probably meant to say Butt Tree. Probably saying Buntree, bro. I don't know. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but I don't know what is a Bump Tree. But anyway, that was number 3. It says he's a member of the Mob Piru street gang, Bump Tree. Trayvon Lane, also a member of the Mob Piru street gang, and Kevin Woods. Mob James. There's 5 people right here who we said is working for Reggie Wright Jr. in the assisting in the distribution of cocaine. And Mob James, of course, was just on the stand testifying yesterday, trying to defend Keffe D. Not sure how much help he did him. I'm not sure how much he helped him with his testimony, but he was certainly trying to, and not to say too much or whatever. Yeah, well, Keffe D didn't return that favor to you, Mob James, in 1998. He said you worked for Reggie Wright Jr. in the distribution of cocaine. That's what Keffe D told the feds.
Harris, there was an individual known as Buntree. But we
Buntree,
at the time wrote it out as Bump Tree, but we believe that actually was an individual known as Buntree, Montreal, or
Alton McDonald.
Like I thought.
Buntree, Buntry.
Yes, Alton McDonald, who was the brother of Mob James, which is James McDonald. Also another individual named Trayvon Lane, who was a Mob Piru gang member, and then Kevin Woods.
And then they can kind of read this
themselves,
but at some point he talks about...
This is nuts. Keffe D is in here with the feds, snitching on Buntree, Mob James, Suge Knight, Trayvon Lane, Kevin Woods, Flip, Wayne Day, Zip, Facts. I can't even keep up. Man, damn.
An incident that occurs at a neighborhood mall involving a person named Marcus. What does he tell you about that?
Yeah, this is a few weeks before the murder of Tupac Shakur. This individual, Marcus, who was a Southside Crip, was at a mall by himself. Several blood street gang members attacked him and started beating him up. Then an individual, Mr. Orlando Anderson, who was the cousin or nephew of Mr. Davis, observed what was happening and went in to help Marcus, and they beat up and fended off the other gang members.
And then he moves on to describe the incident at the MGM casino the night of Mr. Shakur's murder.
Yes, he did.
And what did he tell you?
He told us the day of the murder of Tupac Shakur that the Blood Street members, some Blood Street gang members saw at night. They saw Orlando Anderson. They attacked him because of the previous incident at the mall. After the attack, Mr. Davis, Orlando Anderson, and their girlfriends went back up to their hotel room at the Excalibur Hotel, and he said that was it. They didn't have any involvement. They stayed in the room the rest of the night.
He tells you that the room was in Anderson's name.
Yeah, the room was in Anderson's name. That they had driven up to Vegas from the LA area in a Land Cruiser, and that they had some other associates, Corey Edwards, Kevin Davis, Terry Brown, aka Bubble Up, Big Dre, and Wynn also traveled to Las Vegas. They stayed at the MGM.
And he repeatedly denies to you knowing who killed Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, he said they didn't have any knowledge of what happened. That they weren't involved. He did later speculate that maybe it was some Compton police officers that were working for Suge Knight, and that maybe it was because he had heard that Tupac was talking about possibly leaving Death Row Records or something to that effect. But
his suggestion was that perhaps Knight.
So Suge did it. So maybe Suge did it. That's what that means, right? He's saying Suge did it. Maybe it was some Compton police officers who he has already said he believes kills for Suge Knight. They commit murders for Suge Knight, the Compton police officers. And that it was because Tupac was about to leave Death Row. So the police officers don't care about that. Suge does. And these are the ones that kill for Suge. So Suge did it. Got it.
Who's driving the car had Compton police officers shoot Tupac in the car Suge's driving?
yes, something to that effect.
Okay. I'm going to keep rolling down here. He gets back at page 5 to talking about Zip. So how does he tell?
Well, okay. So at least at this point, Keffe D is denying that's important. He's denying any involvement in Suge Knight, in Tupac's murder. He's denying any involvement in that moment. He's snitching on everything else, as we can see, everything and everybody else. Everybody going to jail. Everybody got to go. But he's denying that he had any involvement or knows anyone that had any involvement. All he can do, in fact, is speculate that perhaps Suge Knight did it or had it done. Had the police do it. That's the indication. He just throwing Suge under the bus every which way with the FBI. But at some point, we do know that he did admit to it. He admitted to it on podcasts and in interviews, but he also admitted to it during a proffer. So I don't know. I'm interested to know if he ended up breaking down and admitted to it during this proffer, because they're not there for that. They don't really care. They probably just asked the question because he was already a suspect, but they're there to find out about Compton and Watson and the illicit activity therein. But I'm interested to know, or was it a different proffer? Because this is a proffer. But we know that he gave up the information during the proffer. So was it this one or something, or another time when he broke down and gave it up? But we continue. I'm going to have to do a part 3. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to do because it's going on for too long. And I know you people have a short attention span. You're not going to be around that long. I didn't know. I mean, I'm gonna stick with it though. I don't care how many views it's getting. Let's get to part 3. He's still snitching. It's taking this long to get it all out. That's how many people he's snitching on. He's still snitching. He's still snitching. He's denied that he had any involvement. This is where we're leaving off at. He's denied that he had any involvement in Tupac's murder. But now we're getting back to him snitching some more. And then at some point, we do know that he no longer denied it. He explained in great and graphic detail exactly what transpired during these interviews. Also, during the proffer, whether it was this proffer or another one, he eventually admitted to it. Said that he saw Tupac hanging out of the car. Women were yelling, "Tupac, Tupac." They saw Tupac, they were yelling. And he's hanging out of the car. Tupac. He said that shows you that he's a biatch, basically. He's a biatch ninja for hanging out of the car, like a female, he said, basically, during one of the interviews. Tupac, he all wrapped up in his celebrity, basically. The women yelling, "Tupac," and he all out of the car. He said, what kind of real dude, what kind of real ninja, kind of real man gonna be hanging out the car? "Oh, hey, what's up?" Because they yelling at him and all that. Real dude just sitting back, saying, "Yeah, what up?" That's what he said. So he said, we wouldn't even know that it was him had he not hung out the car, bringing attention to himself. This is what he said during the interview. I remember that clearly. He blamed Tupac essentially for his own death. Said that he got himself, because we wouldn't even know that it was him. We was out looking for him, but we didn't know where they was at, what car they was in. So we heard the crowd, and then we seen him hang out the car. And then okay, there he is right there. And all of this stuff. But at any rate, my point is, he admitted to it in great detail. Who had the gun, what kind of gun it was, how many times he shot. He said, "Watch out, move out the way." I mean, he went on the interview. I heard it come out of his own mouth, so I can imagine what he said during the proffer. So one of these proffers, he said something. But at this point, okay, we're leaving it out. We're going to leave it off where he's denying any involvement, and in fact, instead, is essentially putting it on Suge Knight, the murder of Tupac Shakur. Or he at least speculated that he could be involved. Okay. But at any rate, clearly he's snitching on everybody. Reggie Wright Jr., Mob James, Buntry, Kevin Woods, Trayvon Lane, Suge Knight, and the list goes on. This is in 1998, folks. Keffe D sat down with the FBI and exposed all of this information that is going down allegedly, supposedly in Compton, California, and Watts, California, because he talked about the Jordan Downs too, and said that he had control of the stuff over there, him and someone else. He's talking about all the stuff going on in Compton and Watts, and who's controlling what. Suge Knight controls the north side of Compton with the drug trade, he said. Reggie Wright Jr. has a shop where he has his organization out of this car shop called the Untouchables, and Mob James's brother, Buntry, Kevin Woods, and Trayvon Lane, they all work for Reggie Wright Jr., former police officer, now essentially head of death row security, with the drug trade there at the car shop, Untouchables. That's where we're going to leave it off at, and then we'll pick it up. I'm just going to stay on this, I guess. I have other content to get to, but that's okay. I need to know what's going on here. This is nuts. Keffe D, the OG killer. He's been a rat. Oh, he's been a snitch for years now. He's been a snitch for over 30 years, bro. Well, that was in 1998, 28 years ago. Right, was snitching before then. That's just when he's on record, at least for right now. That's the record that we have of him speaking with the FBI. And it's all right there in black and white. And everything that he told the FBI and the FBI agent that he spoke with is right there testifying. recalling the entire conversation. As we can see in that conversation, it went bad. He snitched on everybody. And he's not done. He's not done. I might have to do 10 videos on all his snitching. Who knows when they're going to be done? I thought I was going to just do one. Now, yeah, I certainly thought I'd be finished with 2, but I'm already at this 25 minutes. And we still going. He's still snitching. So we'll see when it stops. I'll stop when he stops. He stopped snitching, I'll stop covering it. Bro, shut up. Stop snitching so I can move on to something else. This guy. These are your heroes, huh? This is what you want to be like? You want to be an OG gangster? You want to be a gang member? In these wicked ass streets, these weak ass, sick ass streets, this individual is supposed to be one of the head honchos from his hood. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Whatever. That's what's been put out there. Keffe D, Southside Compton, bro. Whatever. I'm not exposing that. That's not out there. He's supposed to be some big old fucking somebody over there. But yeah, he's a fucking rat. He's been a rat for 28 years at least. You over here calling shots in the hood? Well-known member and all this, caught up in Tupac murders and all of this. Got your hand on millions of dollars, dealing with all kind of celebrities and all that. And the whole time you sitting somewhere in a room with the FBI exposing all kinds of shit that's going on with the dudes that you cooling with every day. Man, nah, man. These dudes, it's not a game that you want to be in. This shit is trash, bro. It's no good. You better do your own thing and don't tell nobody a damn thing about what you're doing, or you're cooked. You're done. Let me know what you think in the comments. Rat Keffe D exposed. Stay safe and stay free, people.